Walker Zimmerman, 2020 Defender of the Year and soon-to-be father. Here we go.
Happy Tuesday! Welcome on into the call-up. I am Jillian Sakovitz alongside the glowing Nashville gal, Susanna Collins. You love that city. How are you, girlfriend?
I'm good. I'm so excited for our guest today, Jill. This only felt appropriate that I wear this Nashville t-shirt that I got on my very first trip to Nashville for MLS before they were even announced as a team. And they gave me this awesome retro shirt. So I was very happy to wear it today.
Fitting for our 2020 Defender of the Year, Walker Zimmerman of Nashville SC. He's going to join the show. We talk about life, a baby on the way, what to expect from a franchise and a city, to be honest, that was through it in 2020. So what can we expect in year two? And you know we can't have a Nashville show without Dax McCarty. He makes a cameo. We have such a good show in store for all of you today. But before we get to that, I just have to say our hearts are so heavy, Susanna Collins. 2 mass shootings in this country in under a week. It's so sad. My heart is just with the victims and their families. 8 dead in Georgia earlier this week and 10 in Colorado. It's too sad.
It's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. And I've just been thinking about it all morning and all day. And the families, their lives are never going to be the same. These poor people, their lives are never going to be the same. You know, they have to think about the last conversations that they had with their loved ones. And at some point, it's just like, when enough is enough, you know, enough is enough. And our hearts are with them. I'm absolutely devastated. And I want there to be solutions. Thoughts and prayers are great, but it's not enough right now. So
lives ruined. Well said, my friend. But we have a good show for you in store today, and some really good. Here for this. First one, Jozy Altidore. Leave it to him. I mean, I don't know if this was a plan. I know that it wasn't. But it may as well have been, because I'll be honest, I don't know if I would have noticed TFC's newest kits, but because Jozy Altidore leaked it and it became so funny on Twitter, I did notice. And this is what happened. Jozy walked around, whether he was on Instagram or Snapchat, and he's showing everyone at the photo shoots. You know, they're having like their media day where they're doing like the crossed arms, they're doing like the fist pumps into the camera, the whole thing, and they have their new 2021 kits on. Well, Jozy wasn't supposed to blast that because they hadn't announced, you know, all that stuff that goes with like the sleeve sponsor and everything. Susanna Collins, I have to ask you, this is not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time this has happened. This happens all the time. Mm-hmm. And I know we have great MLS staff, you know, the comms people, but like, and there's signs everywhere. This has happened at many teams. And whether it's a broadcaster or it's a player or a front office person who takes the picture and leaks the kit, like, do they really not want to leak the kits? Because it really doesn't feel that way. What do you think?
It's so funny because I understand that there's probably some sort of like contractual obligation, like you cannot release this. And so that's
with
probably where, yes, exactly. Like that's where the paranoia comes from. But there's also such a huge amount of buzz that comes with it, right? And so the thing I appreciate about this Toronto situation is that they just leaned into it. Like Jozy leaked it and they were just like, you know what? This is like the best way to announce our new jersey anyway. So let's just go with it. So they actually used him like apologizing for the leak for it. And I loved that. So that I am here for. I have a funny story though for you, Jill, about leaked jerseys. So 2017.
Did you jersey?
So almost 2017. I was in LA for the media marketing tour ahead of the season, and Kaylin and I were doing sort of like a behind the scenes thing. And this is when Kaká was still with Orlando, and he was in the midst of his photo shoot wearing the brand new jerseys for that season. Okay. Kaká invites us into this photo shoot. I am freaking out because I love Kaká and was like completely starstruck. And the professional photographer starts taking these amazing photos of me and Kaylin and Kaká. Like just a dream come true. And I'm like, oh my God. So they send me the pictures and I'm literally like ready to post it on my social because hello, it's a picture of me and Kaká. And Orlando is like, Susanna, don't you dare post these. We can't.
But you almost did.
I almost did. But thank God they told me. But I had to sit on these caca photos for a month. Do you know how hard that was for me? Do you know how hard that was for me?
That's
to
unfair.
Not put these out. I was like, it was a struggle.
I think that the comms people, like and the funny thing is, I'm not going to mention the team. I know a comms person that leaked it of his own team. So if this but like you guys you guys have to get the temporary tattoos, put it on your foreheads because this happens all the time.
All the time.
But I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. I'm here for the week. Bring them on. Bring them on. Next up on our here for this. This one is bizarre. This is really, really bizarre. So the Philadelphia Union tweeted this out. Their goalkeepers in training in preseason were spotted wearing these glasses, like sunglasses, that were very like Matrix-esque. That is hard to say.
You got it. Matrix-esque.
Thank you. And I was like, is this a fashion statement? What is going on here? No, they're called synaptic strobe glasses. Okay. And they're supposed to remove visual info by flickering from clear to opaque. And it makes them like process info quicker and more efficiently. So like adjust the lighting. So it's like, so Andre Blake in these, like,
he looks good. He looks
I
good.
mean, but it's just so weird. Like it was so weird. And it made me think of, remember like the Google Glass thing?
Yes.
Like 10 years ago, and everyone was like, this is going to be the new rage, all the rage. And then it was like, where did it go? I don't think this has legs. So I'm not here for these glasses, Jill. I'm just going to
look them up, people. Andre Blake is giving me Men in Black vibes. Like that he's going to come and like read through my body. And I just want to know if these have been approved for the regular MLS season. So I don't know. If, like, do we ask Howard Webb? I don't know.
Who know. But that's a really good question, though, because if you're getting that kind of unfair advantage, then it can't be right. But anyway, I just think they just look a little weird. I'm not here for it. All right, Jill, you ready for this one?
Mm-hmm.
This is great. So FC Dallas, first of all, shout out to FC Dallas's social team because you guys kill it. You guys just absolutely crush it all the time. You keep us entertained and you do a tremendous job. So well done. So this is indicative of all of that incredible work. So
we applaud you.
We do. We absolutely do, and we celebrate you. Keep it up. So they tweeted out one of their players, Nkosi Burgess. Okay, he's got the platinum dyed hair right now. So FC Dallas tweets out that he is going to dye his hair the color that gets the most responses to the tweet. Okay. But they said we're not, except for orange. So basically like saying, no, we are not going to dye it the color.
He was smart because he knew those Dynamo fans would like infiltrate.
They forgot to put another disclaimer because P.S. you got another Texas rival now in Austin. So all of the Austin fans see this. They start crashing this tweet with green, verde, green, verde, verde, verde. And last time I checked, Green was running away with this. Now there has been no update. There has been
Green
no
seems
update.
to be the front runner. I'm doing an update scroll at the moment.
There has been no update yet, and we have not seen any pictures of Nkosi and how he has decided to dye his hair which color. But I have a feeling that Green's going to be the winner, and I'm just looking at Dallas going, that was dangerous. That was
He's
really
gonna look like
dangerous
Christmas
move that you just pulled. But I'm here for the interaction. I'm here for the interaction because they're living on the edge a little bit.
And you already said it. So you got to own it, my friend. You got to do it. And then you dye your hair green and you prove it on the pitch. And you know what? Maybe even you dye your hair green when you play Austin.
There you go. Get in their heads a little bit.
Right. Like, own it.
Do you remember when Carlos Vela wore pink ahead of their matchup against Miami?
It wasn't on purpose, but we knew better.
Head games. Mind games, y'all. Mind games. Time now for AT&T 5G call to the field, and we are so excited to bring in the 2020 MLS Defender of the Year. He's entering his 9th season in the league. Nashville SC's Walker Zimmerman. Walker, thanks so much for coming on.
Wow. Thank you. Glad to be here.
So good to see you. You're in Florida for preseason right now, correct?
I am. We just got in, I think 2 days ago. Time flies when you're at IMG. I don't know. It's just like a little time warp.
It's not terrible. How is preseason going? How are you feeling heading into the 2021 season?
It's been very good. I think more than any other year, I think everyone decided to show up really fit. We had a lot of get together to play pickup and stuff beforehand in market, which was nice. And so guys came in fit, and that really just helps spur on some better training sessions early on, a little bit less fitness, and you can focus more on playing, which has been a lot more fun.
That is definitely a different kind of report than we heard from other teams that we've talked to that tell me all they're doing is running. So go you guys by keeping yourselves in shape so you don't have to spend your first weeks of preseason just running. Now you mentioned that, Walker, and how much of that do you feel like has to do with Nashville SC and what they went through last year? I really don't know a team that had to go through more adversity than Nashville. Having to miss the MLS's back tournament, you guys get in one home game, the pandemic hits, a tornado rips through the city. And I mean, it couldn't have everything that the franchise put into their inaugural year. The rug got pulled out from everybody, but especially you felt like Nashville. And despite it all, you guys had a good season down the stretch. So like how much of everything you guys went through is now propelling you in 2021?
Well, we certainly know how to work out individual workouts. That's for we had to do a lot of that last year. And honestly, maybe that's what carried us into 2021 in such a good spot because people kind of knew the expectation from a fitness standpoint. They knew maybe some drills and running exercises they could do in their neighborhoods and on their streets and their driveways, et cetera. And no, but seriously, I mean, so much adversity. I thought the group did a really good job of staying focused, committed, just kind of controlling what we can control. Now it's kind of the theme throughout all of 2020 for us is, oh, well, we're out of MLS's back. All right, well, let's just control what we can control, be back to market, do our individual training so we can, meet all the protocols and keep moving forward. So definitely a learning experience. Helped a lot of guys, I think, grow their minds and their mentality. And now we're in a good spot heading into 2021.
You're in a real good spot. I mean, you make the playoffs despite everything in your first season, and not only make the playoffs, you win 2 games. You beat Toronto FC in this upset, and honestly, like one of the most fun teams to watch, especially the back half of the season and into the playoffs. So, having that kind of success under your belt, knowing everything that you guys went through in 2020, how do you then kind of harness that momentum that you created in 2020 and put it forward in the new season coming up?
Well, I think it just becomes a lot easier for us to focus on actually training. I think you look at the season and the condensed nature that it kind of took because of the pandemic and postponing all these things. And yes, we are delayed a month or two, but it's going to be a little bit more time for us to train on the training field. Preseason last year, I came in halfway through, but for the guys who were there was a ton of video, a ton of the basics. This is what our identity is going to look like. This is how we want to defend. This is how we want to attack. And so you go over all of these different scenarios, and now we don't have to do that this year. We're returning so many players to our roster that have kind of been through last season and kind of know what our identity is. And that allows us to do, more focused time in training on, maybe progressing that attack a little bit more this year because we have our fundamentals of how we want to defend. So all in all, I think it just puts us in a better spot to evolve as a team and continue to get better.
You mentioned the attack, Walker, and that's, one of the things that the fans want to see. An MLS team is never happy. Fans are never happy. They always want more goals, these MLS fans. And,
fans are happy with us just, if anyone sits back and defend, they want to see goals. And
yes,
we're certainly going to give that to them in 2021.
So give us the 2021 scouting report for Nashville SC. Like, how do you see who linking up well? Like, who are you excited about seeing play in front of you?
Yeah, that's a great question. We definitely more than last year. There's a lot of competition that's coming in these attacking positions, whether that's out wide or up top. CJ Sapong was obviously a big signing for us, a solid, established number 9. Don Badji's coming back healthy. Alex Wheel has looked amazing in preseason. We already know how fit he is, but now Sweet Feet and Wheel is really dealing in season. We're excited to have Rodrigo here, Loli, as we call him. I'm sure you will grow to call him that as well. Was a big signing from Uruguay. He's looked really sharp, really energetic. Hani Mukhtar in good form, obviously Randall with the 23. So I'm saying all these names. Yonder from last year, we got to see him come along. So definitely just have a lot more firepower. Obviously, we want guys healthy because that was a little bit of an issue towards the second half of the season with our attacking positions. But now we have a lot of options to choose from, and it's going to be really competitive to see who plays week in and week out.
Well, 2020 was a pretty special season for you. Not only were you
Despite it
named
all.
Defender of the Year, which is incredible, you also go into the history books, Walker. You scored the first ever goal in Nashville SC history. Did you see that one coming? Was that something that you kind of thought about and manifested?
Honestly, it kind of was, which is kind of crazy. So obviously the trade happened like I think it was February 12th, and the first game was the 29th. And so I remember, my wife came into town like the week of the game, and even like as I was getting ready on game day from the hotel I was staying at, we didn't say it to each other at the time, but like I was just feeling really good. I was like, still kind of had a chip on my shoulder. Well, I'm gonna step in from day one, make a really big difference on this team. And so I didn't say it to my wife. She didn't say it to me, but apparently she had a really good feeling that I was going to score. And then sure enough, it happened. I mean, it was destiny, but it was really cool, really exciting. Obviously that's something that no one can ever take away. And it was a really special moment for me in my career for sure.
It was
That's
destiny.
amazing. I got goosebumps.
I love it. Yes. Always interested in asking defenders this question. You're a big guy, typical for a center back, but like what position were you originally playing, and like when in life did you become a center back?
Right. Growing up, I kind of played all over, a little bit more defensive minded, I guess. So it was pretty common for me. Played outside back some, a little bit growing up. I guess the story that's actually pretty crazy was we went to a U14 national team camp. It was the first big camp where they identify all the region teams and everyone gets invited to Boston. So there was 120 kids, the U14 age group. And because there's so many kids, you had to make 2 combo teams, like pool teams of players from each region. And so I was on one of those teams at the start. And the coaches are going around. We're in a circle, and they're like, "All right, what position do you play? What position do you play?" And at the time, I'd been playing center back. That was where I was starting to play, like around that age group, 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, starting to shift to center back full time. And there's like 4 or 5 players who have already said, I'm a center back. I'm a center back. And I'm looking around like, well, I want to get a lot of minutes and play and like prove myself. So I say I'm a right back first. I was like, oh, right back. But like I can play, I'll play center back too. So I go all through the U14 cycle as a right back, end up making the national team U14 as a right back, and eventually evolved back into center back. But it was just like a spur of the moment decision that could have changed everything, like getting minutes and playing. So I remember telling my parents, they're like, what have you done? Like, why would you ever say that? But I guess it worked out.
I think it worked
Gutsy,
out.
Quick on your feet.
Yeah, very gutsy. Could have been a disaster. Thank you.
Well, we're happy for you that it all seemed to work out. Walker, the last time you and I hung out, we were riding birds in Santa Monica, which was to this day probably like one of the coolest shoots I've ever
So
been
fun.
on. That was amazing, right?
Yeah.
We were just like, but now you're in Nashville. And some pretty incredible life changes happening for you. Not only I can hear like you've got a new puppy
Yes.
in the mix. You have a new puppy named Bear, absolutely adorable. But you and your wife, your beautiful wife Sally, you are expecting your first baby. I feel like this is a lot of change, a lot of transition happening all at once. Do you feel ready for what's to come? You're already getting a little taste of it with the puppy, I imagine.
Yes, I definitely am. And honestly, like when we look back at 2020 and we think about how it started, kind of just with the trade and then the pandemic and then just settling in Nashville, getting a house, like the whole progression, defender of the year, all of these, like, you hear the news that you're traded, you're just devastated. And then all of a sudden you look back and you're like, wow, this year was such a blessing. Like I would have never expected that at the start of the year. I would have never gotten a dog if I didn't have a yard. That's for sure. Blessing. So yeah, Bear is doing great. She's staying with a friend right now, and I'm getting daily updates and photos that are keeping me sane, but I'm definitely missing her. Definitely missing Sally and our little baby boy that's in the womb. So prayers that he just keeps growing, staying strong and healthy, but all looks good so far. And we're halfway there, I guess, 20 weeks in. So we're excited. I mean, Nashville, it just seems like the perfect time in our lives too, where we had 2 of those really fun years in LA. We're not attached with a dog or a baby. We got to just, be together. And then now settling back closer to both of our homes, getting that house, getting a dog, it just seems like a natural progression that it doesn't seem like it would have worked out quite as well if we were in LA, and we just never saw it coming at the time.
Life works in mysterious ways.
That's
That is
Amazing
for
way to
sure.
sum that up. Yeah.
Walker, we have some really hilarious fan questions for you. Honestly, I feel like we haven't gotten great fan questions. But when we told the people that we were having Walker Zimmerman on, they really showed up. Wouldn't you say, Suze?
Oh no, we got some great ones, and ones
Okay.
that like I wouldn't have thought of, but are
No,
actually really good
genius,
questions.
really. Okay. This one comes from Chris Hull. Are you ever distracted by your fellow defender, Dave Romney's beautiful blue eyes?
Wow. Now that you say, I've honestly never really thought about Dave's eyes, but now
Walker,
they are pretty chilling. It's almost like Game of Thrones, like he got stabbed and now he's like,
it's the White Walker.
yeah, he's got some light eyes. Never distracted me during a game, but now I'm definitely gonna be paying a little bit more attention to those things.
Okay. Well,
I
thank
love
you,
it.
Chris Hull, for that.
Yes, this is a great one. I love this one so much. So this is from NSC Golden Boy, clearly a big Nashville fan.
Mhm.
He wants to know, because Walker, we can see that you're kind of growing out the flow right
It's getting
now.
there. It's getting there.
So NSC Golden Boy asks, "Are you like Samson, and your long hair gives you strength? And if
Wow.
so, does Alex Muil have the same powers?"
Wow. I mean, if long hair gives me strength, then Alex is like a Greek god at this point. This man has some locks on him. I don't know if I can ever catch him, to be honest. It is super long. You know what? I'll take that. I hope that the hair will give me some strength. I'm certainly gonna keep growing it out, and it worked well for me last year. I'm gonna see how long it goes and see what my wife's okay with. But got a little bun there, you can see.
Yeah, yeah.
Little man bun. I love man buns. I'm into them.
I asked
Always
Alex
been
the
a
other
fan.
day. I was like, "How mad would you be if someone just came and just snipped
Just
it off?" And he's like, "Bro, like I'd be throwing punches." Sure, he was not happy with the idea of someone just cutting off his.
Well, you ever want to fire him up before a game? I guess you know what you got to do.
That would be maybe playoffs this.
You could really prank him too, just like pretend, get that sound, have him like freak out.
That would be very scary, actually.
Yeah.
So we have we are obsessed with expecting fathers and mothers here on the call up, and we've thrown quite a few baby showers, Susanna
Yes.
Collins. I don't know why we always get people right before they're about to have a kid, but we do. It must be like our female instincts.
It is.
But
We love it.
we throw baby showers here. And Walker Zimmerman, this is your call up baby shower, whether you know it or not. We are going to put you to the test and see how prepared you are for fatherhood with a series of true or false questions. So you got a 50-50 chance here. Okay. The average baby, Walker Zimmerman, wakes up 2 to 3 times a night to eat. True or false?
True.
Generally, babies will wake up 2 to 3 hours to eat. Yay.
Very good. Very good. Off to a good start. All right. Next up, Walker. True or false? A baby's first word is generally at 8 months.
True. Oh, come on.
Walker's going to have some very smart kids.
Dad.
10 to 14 months. But keep it, maybe you'll have a prodigy on your hands. If that baby is saying dad at 8 months, then
I will shout out to my niece because she said mama for the first time, and she was born in June. So what is that? 8 to 9 months?
Oh, whoa.
Well, she's got those Zimmerman genes,
Whoa.
Oh, mama. That's what I heard.
Look out.
I got video footage. I'm gonna send that in. I wanna challenge that call.
Walker Zimmerman, true or false? The average newborn goes through 12 diapers a day.
True.
Although each newborn is different, the average goes through 8 to 12 diapers a day.
I'll say you gave me the hint with the first question because you said if they're eating every 2 to 3 hours, I'm assuming that
You're
they're
doing the math.
yeah.
Have you ever changed a diaper?
The answer is no.
Ooh.
And honestly, I've been there in the room, and I just haven't quite grasped that yet.
It's yeah. You got to get the hang of it. I
heard the newborn poops will, they're not that bad. They can kind of grow me into changing the real ones.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a tar substance,
Just, get some practice runs in. Sally will appreciate that.
I might need to do that.
Okay. True or false, Walker? Newborns don't cry.
This is easy. This is false.
That is correct. They do cry, but they don't produce tears until 3 weeks of age. So they'll cry, but they are not actually producing tears until 3 weeks. So there you go.
Oh gosh, I am learning so much.
I know.
I definitely didn't know that.
Like any good baby shower, Walker, we have a surprise for you. And now I don't know how many like Zoom baby showers you've had to endure. Maybe you have one coming up.
This is the first.
Oh, okay. I mean, of course. But any good baby shower, there are surprises. And your baby shower, Walker Zimmerman, is no exception.
First piece of advice is when your baby sleeps, that's when you should sleep. Sleep is the most precious commodity you can have with a newborn, so make sure that you nap when that baby does. Number 2, make sure that you give Sally, your beautiful wife, lots of foot rubs. She'll appreciate it, make your life easier in the long run. Number 3, make sure that when you're changing that diaper of that little baby boy, you have something to cover that thing because it's bound to do anything. And if not, wear a rain jacket. And last but not least, make sure that when you are letting your son play with magic markers, you don't turn your back for 1 second, or else that happens. What did you do? What did you do to yourself? And by the way, if you ever need a babysitter, Uncle Dax and Cal, we're here for you, buddy.
Amazing. That's some really good advice. I like the rain jacket one a lot.
I mean, when I was listening to that, I was like, you know what? Dax is like, these are solid
high level plays. Yeah.
And especially you're having a boy. So it's like, this is
You don't really have to do anything. You have Dax McCarty at your disposal. Susanna, I would like to point out how much evolution Dax has had. We had him on nearly 2 years ago when he was a very new father. At that moment, he was doing skin to skin.
He was our first guest ever on this podcast, Walker.
Doing skin to skin while talking to us. Yep. And he told us that we said, so what advice would you give a new dad? And all he could come up with was to keep the baby alive. And I would say that he has progressed a lot.
I think he has.
Although that is very important advice.
Also true.
Also true. 100% true. But yeah, Uncle Dax, we appreciate him giving us that video for you.
Thank you, Dax.
Walker Zimmerman, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast. We are so excited for you and Sally and Bear. So don't forget Bear.
You cannot forget Bear. She is a gem.
It's National Puppy Day. It's National Puppy Day.
I know. I saw this. I need to work on it.
Get on Instagram, Walker.
Exactly.
Before we let you go, you don't have to reveal it at your baby shower, but have you guys decided on a name?
I think we are probably 90 to 95% sure that we have it locked in.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's a secret, but we are fairly certain that this is going to stick.
Well, we can't wait to meet baby Zimmerman. And best of luck this season, Walker. We're excited to watch you on the field.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
Great to see you, friend. Love Walker Zimmerman. Love Dax McCarty. Big thanks to both guys for joining us. That was so much fun. But Jill, time for What's on Tap. What is on tap? And continuing our Women's History Month discussion in the theme of this episode, we had Katie Witham on, our dear good friend, a broadcaster for Fox Sports. We had her on a couple years ago, and she talked about the challenges of being a working mother to a newborn while also working as a broadcaster. And it was enlightening and just really, really interesting and fascinating. Take a listen.
It was scary.
Yeah.
It's like you at the time you did not see a lot of women working in sports just openly pregnant and being like, no, I'm still working. Like I'm capable of still doing this.
I think I reached out to you and I thanked you in a text. I'm like, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
I don't share a lot about my personal life, and that's just a choice. But I think when people can put that out there, you're not helping yourself by doing that. You're helping other people say it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to have a life. It's okay to do this.
I got mad because of how scared I was to do it.
Yeah.
And then I thought, no, I need to get out there to make it more normal
And
because it should be.
What a legend. And she came to that
Amen.
interview with her breast pump.
She was pumping. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was literally pumping breast milk as she was doing that interview with
and
us.
a cooler to put it away, like
Honestly,
in Orlando.
Just a rock star. Absolutely. Women are rock stars. Women are rock stars.
Something else that's going to be rocking Susanna Collins is MLS and Liga MX announced details for the return of Leagues Cup and Campeones Cup.
Heck yes.
Qualified MLS teams for Leagues Cup are NYCFC, Orlando, Seattle, and SKC, while Liga MX participants will be confirmed in May. Additionally, Campeones Cup will be played at the new Crew Stadium and is currently scheduled for the week of September 27th. As always, head to MLSsoccer.com for more. I hope we go.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Do you know what?
Yeah.
What is exciting is that we actually might be able to go.
I can leave the basement.
Mind blown.
Wow, you know how to make a girl feel good. I'll tell you that. And
Oh.
guys, you at home can make us feel good.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to beg, but could you please just
No,
rate?
well, let's beg.
Okay.
Let's beg. Let's do it. I don't care. Guys, like us, rate us, subscribe us, give us some really nice comments. Download our podcast. Please, pretty please. We'll love you forever. We already do. I'm kidding. Thanks for listening and
Totally
watching,
kidding.
everybody. Have a fabulous week. We'll see you real soon.